So we got some ball games on. My beloved Pittsburgh Steelers are up 34-24 in Cincinnati. They just intercepted the ball, so looking good for a Steeler win. My beloved Los Angeles Kings won last night. Aaron Rodgers having a tough one, but they're still up 21-19, the New York Jets. 34-24, Pittsburgh Steelers, 12:43 left to go in the fourth quarter. What up? What up? Salute. Comedy Store set went very well last night. Yeah, they were pretty weak. The trolls, the freaks were out last night. But here's the funny thing, and I don't know if it has something to do with the YouTube algorithm picking up the phone better than this. You know, this is done on my iMac wide angle. You know, and these streams lately have been averaging about 100 views. And then on the phone last night, I just checked, it had 760 views. And it was pretty late at night. So I prefer doing the streams on my iMac. But, you know, to get like 7 times the views on my phone is interesting to me. But you might be right, SC, because I remember one time I did a stream when I was walking Lois in the Pacific Palisades, and it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, and it ended up getting well over 1,000 views. So maybe it likes the background of the phone better, you know, the vertical presentation. I don't know. I can only imagine the algorithm that YouTube has working for it. So once again, you know, I'm still trying to find the nuance of the algorithm. I will say I get many more super chats in this format than I do. I rarely get a super chat when I'm on the phone. And not that I do the streams for super chats, but I do find that funny. 34-24 with about 12 minutes left. It absolutely is harder. I mean, last night, I would say the last 20 minutes of the stream, I was sitting where I am now, and it was easy to read the stream. But we had these losers in there doing inward towers. And, you know, Kip Smith was in the stream last night. He was Johnny on the spot, you know, banning them right away. But, like, and then a lot of trolls. But, you know, the thing is, there's no troll that's going to be quicker than me. So I absolutely shut them down pretty fast. And I was playing with them a little bit. I mean, the only people I wouldn't play with is the people doing the inward towers. It's like, come on, man. Like, who goes into someone's stream and types out the N-word? Like, what a loser. But you know, it's a fun stream. You know, I always have a little energy before my Comedy Store sets because of the, you know, just the adrenaline flowing, you know, the nerves. So I always have a good stream before the set. And, you know, Ryan O'Neal brought me up, and I had a good time. Yeah, but there was a lot of new people in the stream, you know, names I'd never recognized. So, I mean, I would think that doing a stream, I think I did the stream around 11, no, about 10:45 Pacific Standard Time. So that's almost 2 in the morning for you guys in the East Coast, 1 in the morning for the Midwest, and it was popping. So, we'll see. Uh, maybe I'll try one tonight, but I have a feeling, since people got to work tomorrow, it wouldn't do quite as well. I mean, I had like 40 people in the stream, which is a lot for me. As you can see, I have 7 now, which I would think there'd be more people on now because people watching football, maybe they got the sound down, listening to YouTube. How much to paint your face like Peter Chris? I couldn't do that, man. I don't know how to do that. I mean, that would be like $500 just for the trouble of getting that shit off. Uh, no, they're coming tonight. Actually, I'm getting 4 in tonight. Um, they contacted me last night about 11 p.m. So I figured they weren't going to come because they all live in. Well, send it to me now, Dominic, as a peace offering. No, I'm just kidding. So they all live by the beach, Manhattan Beach, Redondo Beach. So, to get to the Comedy Store is a bit of a schlub for them, and they just had 2 games in 2 days, so I'm sure they were a little tired. But they are coming tonight. I think today for them is an off day. The NHL has rules that you have to have like an off day here and there. So, they are, and then, I'm sure they have practice tomorrow. But well, Dominic, $1.99. This is what they call a retainer, uh, and also shirtless. Thank you very much, Dominic, for your financial generosity. As William Zoom would say, I'm a bartender. And that was the first tip of the day. All right, we got another highlight for the Steelers, 34-24. Joe Burrow back to pass. He gets hit by TJ Watt and strip sack. It is now 41-24, 11:06 left to go. Peyton Wilson. I think that's the guy the Steelers drafted with no ACL. Oh, that's all good, Dominic. I appreciate the attempt. I mean, the Steelers are, I think they would have won last week if the game wasn't in the snow. But, what are you going to do? The game's in the snow. Um, so thank you, Dominic, very much for your generosity. Where is the chicken man, Brennan? Is he sleeping right now? Dr. Nova, get your friend in here. So, yeah, the Kings don't play again till Wednesday against Dallas. And then I think they play Saturday against Minnesota. And then I think they hit the road again. Now, I've been hearing Trevor Lawrence got fudged up today. Cheap shot by, I don't know who the Jaguars are playing, but I hear there's a big fight after. A lot of fights yesterday in football. You had the big brawl with Michigan and Ohio State, where Michigan tried to put their flag on the O. You're going to hang out with them at the store. I don't think I will. I mean, tonight, I don't have a spot tonight, and I don't like hanging out at the Comedy Store when I don't have a spot. You kind of look like a fucking dog waiting for a bone. So I'm good on that. But I can make a call and get them in there. Yes, the Chicken Man. We need Peter the Chicken Man Brennan in here asking questions about his beloved brother, KB. All right, here comes All right, no, this is the fourth quarter. The Jags are playing the Houston Texans. They're getting blown out. It's at 23-6 Houston. I thought they would show a highlight of Lawrence getting bopped, but apparently not. Uh, um, yes, they would be like that. Yes, I don't know who Dennis Stamp is, but that is my rule. All right, Dominic, that's a deal, 100%. $700. I saw Jeff last night. You know, a lot of people ask me, is it awkward when I see him? Not for me. You know, I've never said anything I don't mean about him. So, um, of course, he did a double take when he saw me because I was talking to two hot girls. And you could tell, like, why are they talking to him instead of me? Well, look in the mirror, bruv. I don't know. I mean, he was there. I don't know what room he was in. Don't really care. Got to see my good friend Ian Bag, the Bag Man, last night. So that's always fun. I don't get to see him that much. So, okay, I've seen Beyond the Mat. It's been a very long time since I've seen Beyond the Mat. I saw it in the theater. Uh, so it's good to know me and Dennis Stamp have the same rule. It's just like there was last night um, a comic who was just loitering and he wasn't going to get to go up. And it's just like, bro, you look like such a loser. David Eric Ricketts, 499. Got lucky on a parlay and won 140 the other day on college football. You're the best, Earl. David's a longtime Comedy Store friend and set me and my ex up with a dog named Tank, a gigantic, I think he was a Rottweiler, but he was just too much of a wild card um, to handle. So we declined on Tank, the Rottweiler, but he was a sweet dog. He was just a little too nutty for our taste at the time. I don't know who the new FBI director is. Uh, what is it? Tulsi Gabbard? Isn't she the new FBI? Or no, she's CIA. No, he's protected, man. I don't get it, but I got to move on. I mean, really, the only time I ever talk about him is when you guys bring him up. So who's the new director of FBI? I mean, you know, if he just started in the world of LA comedy, he'd be busy for fucking 2 years. Trust me on that one. Oh, Cash Patel. Okay. Was he anti does he go after sexual crimes? I don't know. I mean, I've heard the name, but I'm not really too familiar about him. Oh, good. I hope he is. I hope he does, you know. And that's my one line in the sand is pedophiles. I won't talk to them. I won't work with them. Uh, I mean, you know, well, comedy is really the perfect area for them to operate in. I mean, there's always new young comics coming to LA, probably to New York as well, but really specifically LA to make it. And you know, usually older comics will sell them some line of bullshit of, hey, you can make it. Let me help you. Hey, why don't you come over? And you know, And if that doesn't work with that particular person, they just wait for the next person. You know, it's like the Poison video for Fallen Angel. It really did hit. You know, I know it's obviously just an 80s music video, but you know, the whole video was based around this girl moving to LA, be an actress. She gets hooked up with a filthy pimp. He uses and abuses her, and then Bret Michaels saves her, rides off in a motorcycle, and then a bus pulls up, and another girl steps off the bus, like looking around, like, oh my God, I'm in LA. I've seen that play in real time 1,000 times in comedy. So, you know, that is unfortunately a video that is true to life. I mean, really, Hollywood, not just comedy, is like that. I mean, look at P. Diddy, all the young artists he tried to fuck and probably did. And, you know, if a few rejected him, there's 5 more coming here next week. Same thing when you look at Harvey Weinstein. The casting couch is real. I don't feel bad for Callan. I believe the girl, to be honest with you, because I know the husband. The girl literally had no reason to lie, you know. And you know, his side should be heard too. I've always said that, but uh, you know, I think common sense goes, okay, well, was she trying to extort him? No, they don't need the money. Her husband's probably the top commercial actor of all time. And he did a lot of commercials when there was money in commercials. Now there's not. You know, you basically get bought out. You know, you get paid like, you know, if you're in a Range Rover commercial, you get paid $1,500. It's a one time. Oh my God, $1,500. That's a lot. But then you don't ever get paid again. My friend Gabriel, whose wife is Callan's accuser, uh, he did money where you not only got the 1,500 up front, say for like a FedEx commercial, you also got residuals like a TV show. So, I mean, he was in some big commercials, Super Bowl commercials and shit like that. So, um, you know, if it ruined his career, good. Because she wasn't even actressing anymore. So it's not like she was trying to hold a role over his head or, and, you know, like I said, they certainly didn't need the money. I mean, Gabriel probably has more money than Callan. So that wasn't an issue. And, you know, when you put Callan's reputation into the mix of a complete womanizing pig, does that mean he did it? No, but it kind of points the arrow in that way. I feel like being a female comedian is riddled with Jeff Ross, like cocks getting thrown at you all the time. Yeah, I mean, you know, especially if you're like most of the female door staff, I think all of them at the comedy store are young comics. You know, they're probably average in age between 20 and 30. And you're around a bunch of comics like, you know, my age, Jeff's age. All right. Bingle's not going away quietly. All right, it's 41-31 with 8 minutes left. Uh, well, that's his problem, though. Uh, well, I mean, he was never tried. And you're right, he was never found guilty. But, you know, for those in the know, you know, it's not hard to believe. Like when I had the ex-girlfriend tell people I threw her down a flight of stairs, my reputation, everyone believed me, you know. It still sucked to go through, you know, because just did. But, you know, when you put my reputation up against the girl's reputation of, you know, every ex-boyfriend she would accuse of something, you know, at some point you're the little boy who cried wolf. And, you know, that's why I still work. That's why, you know, I get booked at the comedy store by a female booker. Do you think they would book me if they thought there wasn't even a remote chance I did that. Um, oh, 100%. I mean, I'm lucky that, and I know she told some big comics, but they were all. I don't know what they said to her, but like I'm sure it was like, "Hey, we've known Earl for 20 years. He didn't do that." And now she can't even get on a lineup in LA. Like no one wants anything to do with her. So failed strategy on her part. Because I was literally the only decent guy in her life that ever dated her. Everyone else just wanted to fuck her because she was a young chick, and some before she was 18. Actually, many before she was 18. So it was just like, you know, no, different one. But even that one is very. I don't know why. Uh, like the one I saw at the restaurant the other night. Um, I know she's it's the same thing. Like she didn't accuse me of anything, but like she's tried to like sales pitch people like, Earl's a piece of shit, and even her own friends have been like, "Hey, we love the guy." Like we used to go to Jones pretty much every night. We were like the king and queens of Jones, and I went into Jones the other night with some Comedy Store people, and I saw probably about four of her friends, like her friends, not mine. I mean, they later became mutual friends, but like they're her friends. They all hugged me, all four. Hey, how you doing? So, the one who accused me, yes, Doctor Nova, yes. I appreciate your sleight of hand there. Um, but when she about a year ago, we'll call her the Space Girl, put up a GoFundMe because she was sick and in her mind, dying. I posted the GoFundMe. I put it on all my social media. I said, donate if you can. I personally did not donate because I just couldn't. Like, hey, you're gonna sit there and try and like I don't know what your gain was, but I'm not donating. No. Um, I think she told people she did. But I have a friend of mine who is a federal judge. The one good thing about my family connections in terms of the political world is I know a lot of people in different facets of life. And my friend, who he will be on the Supreme Court one day, I can just tell. He started out as a beat cop, then he became a lawyer, uh, prosecutor, and now he's a federal judge. I said, "Hey, man, can you just look and see if there's any investigations about any incident with me and this girl?" And I gave him her name, her real last name, and this guy's so fucking on it um, that he called uh, the West Hollywood sheriffs, he called the Hollywood sheriffs, he called Beverly Hills PD, LA sheriffs, and Orange County sheriffs, which is where her stepmom lives. So he covered every law organization that she could have called. And not only had they not heard of me, they had never heard of her. So, you know, uh, it was still a bummer to go through. But, luckily, I don't think a single person believed her. Um, no, that's, I believe, Chandler is in New York now. But, I that's what I've heard. I don't go on any ex's social media because you're never going to find something you like on an ex's social media. One, you're going to see them looking better. Everyone looks better after a breakup. I know I do. You work out a little more. You get your life together a little more. But oh, I don't know. I don't know. Um, I don't know. I mean, Mrs. Space, basically got kicked out of the LA scene, you know. Um, I think she went to New York once, and, I was getting phone calls the first time she went to New York going, "Hey, your ex is hanging out at the Cellar, insinuating she'll do anything to get stage time here. How do you want us to handle it?" I'm like, "Hey, it ain't my problem anymore." Um, and then, she didn't last long in New York the first time. I mean, I'm sure Creepy Comics fucked her because she was, desperate or whatever. And then I think she came back out here and really didn't get on a lot of lineups here because, like, no one wants anything to do with her, which is too bad because she's actually cool. I mean, I did see a good side of her, but she talks bad about every person she dates. This guy raped me, this guy hit me, this guy mentally abused me, and it's like either she's lying or she's the most unlucky person on the fucking planet. So, no, the one at the restaurant did not want to get back together with me. But it was kind of funny. I'm sitting at a Thanksgiving dinner with the Vagos Motorcycle Club, and like I'm really well liked at the Rainbow. I mean, I know the owner. He was there. He said hello to me. He was sitting with Steven Adler, the drummer from Guns N' Roses' brother Jamie, and he loves me. So I'm protected at the Rainbow when I'm up there by myself, but I'm with the Vagos. I'm like um, double protected. So she saw me. She kind of does a double take. And I waved her like, hey, I would have hugged her and said, Happy Thanksgiving. I don't know what happened between us, but fuck it. Happy Thanksgiving. I would have said that. And she kind of gave me a mean look. And then I saw her talking to our waitress. They were smoking or something, and they both looked back at where I was sitting, and you could tell the waitress was like, "Hey, he's with the Vagos. I can't help you here." So, a huge red flag when women have constant abuse stories from multiple men. If it's true, then she's traumatized, and if it's a lie, then she's crazy. Either way, she's a loon. Well, I don't talk bad about exes because it just doesn't make you feel better. But I would say in your case, both are true. I do think some of the stories she told me were true because I know some of the guys, and they're absolutely the type that would fuck an underage girl or a barely legal girl and abuse her and whatever. And I do think she made up. I mean, she obviously made up the one about me, and it's still. Um, Affects me from the standpoint of that's such tremendous hatred to say that about someone when it's not true. Like that's very calculating to be like, I'm gonna fuck this guy's life up. Because like someone just said, one person believes it, you're done. I had a friend of mine accused of grape, and it wasn't true. It turns out it was just a bad breakup. And he was so frustrated. He said to me, Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. I know this is going to sound awful, but everyone thinks I did it. So I kind of wish I did. So that's crazy talk, right? But, you know, it's kind of. So that's why when I hear someone is accused of something, before I always used to believe the accuser. Like, who would lie about that? Who would lie about getting hit, physically, mentally assaulted? Any kind of assault. But after I went through what I went through, I was like, okay, let's hear the accused story too. Like, hear Callan's story. I think his angle was it was just a bad date. Her angle was it was full on sexual assault. And even with Jeff, you hear his side, you hear her side, and you make the decision. So, but that's the crazy thing with we'll call her Mrs. Space. Um, I've never treated a girl so good. And I'm really good. My best asset in life probably is um, doing a breakup autopsy. Like I'm really good at being um, honest with myself. Okay, because when a bad breakup happens, there's three sides of the story: your side, her side, and the truth. Um, and with Mrs. Space, there's not one thing I would have done differently. Not one. And I've got that Mary Lou Henner super photo graphic memory. I can remember almost every date we had or every time we were hanging. There's not even one thing she could even remotely accuse me of. But, it is what it is. And, she's kind of a pariah now in every scene she's on. She won't last long in New York. She just won't. She'll fuck a few New York comics and then she'll be, just that girl. She'll come back out here to LA. She won't get on any lineups out here. Open mics maybe. I don't like treating girls mean. I'm not into the games of like, it's like the girl I saw at the restaurant the other night. Uh, if I told you how much money I spent on this girl in dinners alone, you'd be astounded. And we only dated for like 3.5 months, but you would be astounded at the money I spent on this girl. But, you know, I don't know. That's probably the strangest breakup ever. She literally told me the last time I saw her outside of the other night was at her work. She's a bartender, and I literally uh, got up to leave. She says, "I love you, baby. I'll see you tomorrow." And then at 6 p.m. the next day, because that was at about 2 in the morning, 14, 15 hours later, she just texts me, "Yeah, the vibes are off." I haven't talked to her since. I'm the king of strange breakups. But, I think a lot of girls think, the grass is greener on the other side of Earl. It ain't. But, you just keep on keeping on. And, you know, I won't say they all come back, but most of them usually realize the error of their ways. So, although I don't think me and Mrs. Space will ever talk again, and I'm okay with that. Uh, well, I think, I seem to get a hold of a lot of damaged women. And, this is how weird dating is that I do think women like to be treated like shit. Because I'm kind of a boring guy from that standpoint. I pay for your dinner, I'll get your car door, I'm not a creep physically. And I think initially that is appealing to these girls. And then it kind of gets boring after a while. Like they miss the excitement of being hit or whatever. And so what are you gonna do? It's all good though, because at the end of the day, the bottom line is this: I'm still Earl, and you're not. And you might think the grass is greener on the other side, baby doll, but maybe the first month it's exciting to get some new dick, and then about month two, the dinners stop. Hey, he's not taking me out to nice dinners anymore because he already got my pussy. Now we're just Netflixing and chilly. No, no. A lot of tough quarterback hits today. See, we can talk about relationships and football at the same time. I'm trying to placate you guys. We're not talking about AEW wrestling. Brett Rogers. No, not Brett Rogers. That's the retired MMA fighter. Aaron Rodgers, 26-21. The Jets have lost. He's kind of a dick to me the one night I met him, so fuck him. Um, but thank you to the tippers today. Let me thank the tippers, the fan funders, Dominic and Big Save Dave Eric Ricketts. I appreciate it. I'm waiting to see this Trevor Lawrence hit. They are not playing it. I swear to God. I mean, because obviously in stand-up comedy, I'm one of the, at least at the Comedy Store, I'm probably, well, me and Jeff are probably the two oldest guys up there who are working. Um, I mean, me and Jeff were probably the two oldest guys up there last night for sure. And, we're only around like comics who are 10 to, in some cases, 30 years younger than us. And I think by and large, women in that age range, they get treated like shit by dudes just trying to fuck them. And I can't speak for Jeff. I don't think I ever would want to do that. But, a guy like me comes along, takes them out to dinner, gets the car door. All right, 3:23 left to go in the Steeler game. Burrow back to pass. He's scrambling, and he throws complete 20-yard line, 10. We got a game here, boys. We got a ball game. It's 44-31, 3:10 left to go in the game. TJ Watt talking a little shit to Joe Burrow. We got a game here. So, I kind of get boring after a while. Daddy man, do any of your politically connected friends have an end? I mean, I'd have to know what it is. I'd have to know what you're talking about, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously, my cousin's RFK Jr. He could get anything done, and my friend's a federal judge. So, but I don't call him the federal judge for really that favor I asked him to do was the only time I've ever asked him for anything. I like to keep my favors for big favors. Like in that case, like, okay, well, if it's true, like she probably filed um, oh shit, it's 44-38 now. The Steelers, we got a ball game here. Oh, Jesus. So there was obviously, I think so. Yeah, if it's a real case, there's going to be a court case. You're going to have, because and this is something I learned, in the protocol for any domestic violence case is, obviously whoever is accusing their partner of any kind of violence, they go to the cops, say, hey, this person hit me, they did this, they did that. And then they go to that person. So what's your side of the story? To this day, no one's ever come up to me and asked me that. Other than other stand-up comics. And they ain't working for the sheriffs. Thank God. That would be one awful force. So, you just move on. And, of course, in that particular case, it's been tough to move on because I still have comics asking me about it. I still have comics. Comics are animals. They always tell you what your ex is up to. So, I mean, I had a comic a couple weeks ago, call me about another ex. Hey, I'm talking to your ex's new boyfriend. He's pretty cool. It's like, why are you telling me that? I don't care. Like, I really don't. So, comics are a very strange bunch. They love gaslighting. And they love gaslighting me because I'm so fucking nice. 100%. But I mean, literally, that phone call, this guy, and this comic who told me that is a very good friend of mine, and he had to have known better. And it's like, bro, like, you think I want to hear this? But that's what comics do. I've never done that to another comic. I've held back information I'd known. Hey, your ex is fucking this guy now. Who wants to hear that? Whether you still like them or you hate them, like no one wants to hear that. Uh, I mean, I can ask my one friend, but just as a friendly conversation. I don't know if he's pretty busy. When you're a federal judge, you don't really have time to take phone calls on stuff that's not concerning to you. But I can ask. That's all I can do, and see if he gets back to me. So I'll make a note of it, Dr. Nova, since you're a longtime supporter of the Earl world. You would think would be trying to get what done, William? So, like, I mean, but that's a great example. You think Johnny Depp wants to hear who his ex is fucking? No, and they hate each other. But still, you don't want Amber Heard. You think he wants to know? Hey, Amber Heard's fucking this 22-year-old Cuban model. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that would be a good cause for people. X updates usually quiet. I don't know what that means, to be honest with you. But I never. That's why I don't go on any X's, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I mean, you're never going to see anything you like. Um, you're never gonna see, you're gonna see your ex looking better than when you dated her because she's fucking pissed and motivated. I'm gonna show Skakel. You're gonna see them with another dude, and whether you like them or hate them or are ambivalent about them, you don't want to see that either. So I mean, I remember a couple months ago, someone sent me uh, a video that I think Chandler must have done right after the breakup on TikTok because she's proficient on TikTok. And I forget the name of the video, but it was like, I'm the girl he left, or I'm the girl he didn't want anymore. She left me. So I didn't look at the video. I just deleted it. But like, all right, I'm getting a text here. We got an onside kick here. Oh, all right, the Steelers got it. Um, 44-38, Steelers up, 2:39 left to go in the game. So it looks like the Steelers will get that when Earl, Well, I mean, I didn't look at the video, so I can't say for sure what it was about. I mean, I can assume knowing her what the content was, but she literally left me. And I don't like talking about shit on a YouTube stream, but like that just goes to show you there's two sides of every story, my side, her side, and the truth. And I'm sure it was this guy's a piece of shit, and like that's not gonna make me feel any better. So, um, you know, uh, I mean, I have friends of mine who stalk their ex's Instagram, and it never makes them feel better, ever. So, I don't do it at all. Hold on, getting another text. It might be from my secret group of Steeler fans. Oh, 100%. Now, you might be able to talk to her. I know you're not going to talk to her, but like she might say, "No, that's not what happened," but it is. Um, and she still took the dinners toward the end, knowing what was eventually going to happen in a few weeks. I mean, that was my big problem, but I don't really want to talk about the actual reasons here because she's not here to defend herself. But you guys know me. I might not be everyone's cup of tea, but the one thing I'm not is I ain't a liar, brother. So, but it's kind of like the girl I saw the other night at the Rainbow. Uh, Everyone loves me. So all our mutual friends essentially took my side, and I didn't even campaign. So well, I have a theory about what was going on myself, William, but I won't get into it on a YouTube stream. But I let's just say I have a theory about what was going on, and that's fine because it goes to my point of I might not be the youngest guy anymore. I might not be the most successful comic, but you're never gonna find a guy who's the total package like me. You might find someone younger, but that's gonna fade after a couple months. So, um, well, I don't know, William. I don't know. I could be wrong. In my particular theory, you know, who knows? I mean, it doesn't matter at this point. But it's got to be hard for her because everyone loves me in terms of our mutual friends. So there you go. They don't until it's gone. Like the Cinderella song says, you don't know what you got till it's gone. Ain't that the truth? Do I have my flaws? Absolutely. But you know what? So does everybody else. So this has been an interesting stream. We'll go about 10 more minutes before I watch the 1 o'clock games. All right. So it's 44-38, a minute 12 left to go in the game. It is 3rd and 4. So this is a big play. If they can get the first down, the game's pretty much over. So here we go. 3rd and 4, Pittsburgh Steelers, 1:54 left to go in the game. Russell Wilson in the shotgun, Najee Harris in the backfield. Hands it off. Oh, no, it's Justin Fields running. Gets the first down and does not go out of bounds. So it looks like the Steelers will survive. It's on the NFL Network. They're just doing highlights, but when a game is close, they do the highlights. And if the game's really close, they'll show the last 2 minutes of the game. So the Steelers brought in Justin Fields for a running play to the right. And he on 3rd and 4, he got the first down. So this game, by all accounts, is over. I will go to the gas station and get a Diet Yellow Rockstar. Thank you very much. And we'll take it from there. So the Steelers are now 9-3. I think they're behind Buffalo and Kansas City. So they're 3rd in the AFC. It's too bad they lost that game against Cleveland last week because that would have been it would have been nice to be 10-2. But the snow bowl was not good for the Steelers last week. You got to play the games. I mean, on paper, they should beat the Cleveland Browns pretty handily. But, the Steelers are kind of like the Kings. They're very inconsistent. Like the Kings last week got blown out 7-2 by the worst team in the league, the San Jose Sharks. I mean, the game wasn't close. Could have been worse. King goaltending wasn't that bad. And then 2 nights later, they beat the best team in the league 4-1, and the game wasn't that close. I mean, they were dominating against the Winnipeg Jets. So it just goes to show you, like I say, you got to play the games on paper, baby. Surprised you don't have an energy drink hookup. You know, if I ever got this stream to like another level, it would be nice to have, excuse me, a rock star logo right there. And just get cases of Diet Yellow Rockstar. See, that's something where having a manager would help, you know. But, you know, we're working on that. Earl does a lot of behind the scenes work that you guys don't know about. So hopefully good things coming in the future. But the business of Hollywood voiceovers and whatnot, it kind of in December is on hold because nothing can really be done in December, you know, the holidays and whatnot. So, you know, you just got to kind of make your moves and wait till January, I guess. Earl is behind the scenes while the hog is in front of the curtain. You know what? You know, the tight leather pants, they do show it all, baby. But last night at the Comedy Store, I did about 45 minutes. Very good set. I didn't kill, but I was doing very well. The crowd was very tired. My 12:15 set went on at 12:50. So, you know, when you look at it that way, and I knew as soon as I walked on stage, they're tired. So it took me a few minutes to get them, but then I had a nice, I would say when I got on stage, there were about 150 people left in the room. And I would say I walked under 10. You know, so I held a tired room of about 140 people for 40 minutes. Not many people can say that. So I held most of the crowd. Now I'm not counting the crowd that got up and left right away. You know, like literally as soon as my name got called, you know, 20 people left. And Ryan O'Neal was doing very well before me. So they're not leaving because they didn't like Ryan. They're leaving because they liked Ryan so much. They figured this guy's not going to be any better than that. See ya. Do you consider yourself the Jeff Ross of comedy? I don't know what that means, to be honest with you. I mean, in what regard? Our roasting abilities or our offstage abilities? You know, I mean, we both date young girls, I guess, but me and Jeff have very little in common. Virtually nothing. Thank God. In terms of looks. No, absolutely not in terms of looks. I mean, you know, I would say I don't really roast the crowd. I mean, I would say last night out of the 40 minutes I was on stage, I did about 33 minutes of stand up and 7 minutes was like roasting crowd work. But I only roast the audience when I know I have them on my side, which is a mistake I think a lot of roast battle comics do, is they roast the crowd when they start bombing. And because they don't have a plan B in terms of material. So, you know, um, they roast the crowd after they just bombed. And it's like nobody wants to hear you roast them when you're not doing well. So that's why I make sure 100% of the time that if I'm going to do crowd work where I'm roasting someone's like outfit or their looks or their date or whatever, they think I'm funny. So I have basically carte blanche to roast them. And like last night, it worked out really well. Like there was a couple in the front row last night, really young. I think they were both 22, and you could tell they were really into each other. And, you know, about 35 minutes in, I started roasting them with how young they are and where did you guys meet? Grade school, blah, blah, blah. And, you look like the guy looked like he was in a boy band. I'm like, like you look like you're in a boy band the year after they broke up. Just dumb stuff like that. And, it worked. I mean, they loved me. So how often do you play the Jewish angle in your routine? I have about a 5-minute chunk where I talk about being Jewish and I usually go, "Hey, what do you think the waiter got tipped at the Last Supper? 12 Jews around the table? Probably not much. Hello." Um, and then I said, I have a joke where I saw a bumper sticker outside that said, "What country did Jesus bomb?" I'm going to guess Israel. I mean, we put him up there. Hello. You're not pinning that one on the blacks or Mexicans. And then I'm like, and if the crowd's a little stiff, I'll be like, you guys are making me feel like the audience warm up at the Holocaust. Hello. Crowd work at the Holocaust must have been a bitch. Hey, 532, how you doing? Hey, 395, you're kind of boring. Let's go back to 532. Hey, 53, where'd he go? Hello, boing. I mean, you want to see Earl Skakel at his best, it's when I know I have the crowd. And you can get away with anything. When you have the crowd, you could literally drop an N-bomb and they're going to laugh. Now, I don't do that, but I do have a Michael Jackson joke. So when I know I have the crowd, I'll always do this joke. I'm like, "Hey, we all remember Michael Jackson, right?" And crowd will kind of give like yeah, and I'm like, it's one thing to be a pedophile, but a mag too. Insert the F word. Hello. That never doesn't get a laugh. I should be the ambassador to Israel. Good morning, Big Bones Jones. We got 3 minutes left in the stream, baby doll, but I know you are my farthest away fan. So welcome to the Earl world for 3 minutes. Ben's beautiful daughter did a great impression of Earl looking into the camera. It's on my YouTube page somewhere going, mama, 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 mama. So, I like to get the young fan base early. So that's I'll still be doing comedy when I'm 85. So, oh, sorry, my bad. He had long hair. My bad. It was Ben Jones' son. I thought it was your daughter. That used to happen to me all the time. I had long hair as a young boy, and I was always confused as a woman. I remember one time Leroy, the black caretaker we had, was driving me to school in his green Dodge Charger in Bel Air in the 70s. There were no black people in Bel Air in the 70s. It was Kareem, OJ, and the maids of all the houses. So this cop pulls Leroy over, takes Leroy out of the car. Leroy James Prince, rest in peace. December 12th was the day of his death. So every December 12th, I go to his grave and wipe off his stone. And so they take Leroy out of the car. The cop comes back to me and goes, "Miss, do you know this guy?" I'm like, "Miss?" And he's like, "Sorry, my bad. Leroy's brother, Ernie, was the first person, I was about 10 years old when Ernie called and said, I was about 10 to 12 years old. Leroy was the first person who died in my life that meant something to me. So Leroy's brother Ernie called and said, "Hey, Earl, I talked to your mom. Leroy's gone." And, being 10 years old, I was like, "Where'd he go?" He's gone. I'm like, "Where?" And then he told me he passed away. Yeah, 100%. But Leroy, and Leroy was black. I mean, he made Dikembe Mutombo look like an albino. He almost had no whites in his eyes. I have a picture of Leroy somewhere, but I'll show it to you guys. So one more minute, guys. Get those last minute questions. And Leroy was not an actor. He was, I think he was a Korean War vet. Like he was like on the front lines, which shows you how African Americans were. It reminds me of the Don Rickles show where he said he'd pay the African Americans extra if they just put them on the front lines, keep charging, attack. And I'm in the back selling peanuts. So Leroy was awesome though. Um, so, all right, kids, we did a nice, solid, steady hour stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll do a stream tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your football Sunday. Thank you one more time to my tippers. I appreciate the generosity. Dominic and David, Big Save Dave, Eric Ricketts, his fifth super chat, an historic occasion in the Earl world. Thank you, William Zoom, for being a moderator. Earl Skakel signing off. Happy Sunday. I'll see you tomorrow. Or maybe I'll do a stream tonight. Fuck it.